Carlos Correa is one of, if not the best shortstop in all of baseball. He can hit, he can field, and does both exceptionally well. Correa is also very big on analytics, and although pretty much baseball's biggest villain, is someone who probably every team in baseball wishes they had. Derek Jeter, Hall of Famer and New York Yankees legend, was the opposite as far as how he was perceived by the public. Jeter was a great hitter, won many Gold Glove awards, and although he was a Yankee, was someone pretty much everyone around baseball loved with his endearing persona. If you ask even most Red Sox fans, they would likely say that although as much as he hurt the Red Sox over the years, Derek Jeter has their respect. As of right now, the current star shortstop and retired Hall of Fame shortstop are at odds with each other. Call it Captain America Civil War, call it Batman v Superman, hell, call it SpongeBob versus Patrick. The point is that these are two widely known baseball stars currently in a conflict, and in this video, we're going to figure out who is in the right. The backstory of this situation between the two started when Carlos Correa went on a Spanish-speaking podcast. The conversation pivoted to Derek Jeter and how he won 5 Gold Gloves, and this is what Correa had to say about that. Quote, "Derek Jeter, how many Gold Gloves did he win? 5, I think he won? Derek Jeter didn't deserve any." End quote. Right off the bat, no pun intended, this isn't a very controversial statement. In fact, it's not at all. It's the correct statement. Bill James, a food factory security man turned Boston Red Sox employee and sabermetrics guru, is someone who came up with a ton of the statistics that truly define how productive a player really is. I'm not going to go too in depth here, but James realized the extreme flaws in how we look at players' fielding. Fielding percentage is a stat that's been around forever. What it does is calculate the percentage of plays you made cleanly on the field, but Bill James saw the extreme flaw in that concept of a stat. James didn't believe fielding percentage was an accurate representation of how valuable you are as a defender, and brought up the point that many players who have a high fielding percentage typically don't have good range to get to a ball hit in their vicinity. The things that people use nowadays to evaluate defense are stats like defensive runs saved, range factor, and ultimate zone rating. Defensive runs saved and ultimate zone rating, for example, factor in everything and how a player in particular comes to the average play made on that ball hit to them during a play. Instead of just claiming whether they made the play, made an error, or didn't make an error, it really dives in on how difficult the play is and if it would have been made by the average player or not. Carlos Correa has a ton of range when it comes to his fielding. He's able to get to balls that a lot of players can't get to, has a great arm, and is overall one of the most valuable defenders in the game at any position. He won a Platinum Glove in 2021 for a reason, and will continue to compete for more of them. So Correa is certainly a guy who can speak on how to be a good shortstop. Derek Jeter isn't. Derek Jeter was never a good defender. In fact, since the defensive runs stat was put to use in 2003, Jeter is the worst defensive player in baseball history. But it's just really funny how the world works sometimes. When you think of highlight defensive plays, you don't think of anything Carlos Correa has really ever done. You think of Derek Jeter. The jump throw, the flip throw to nail Giambi at the plate, the running catch while falling into the Yankee Stadium stands, the list just goes on and on. A signature throw has since been named after Jeter ever since the jump throw, with kids yelling out Jeter every time they do it. But in reality, these plays were nothing special. In fact, your typical day during a baseball regular season has plays far more impressive and talented than the Jeter plays ever were. I'm not here to say that Derek Jeter doesn't deserve any publicity, because he certainly does. He earned the popularity he got. But it's such a misconception to look at Jeter as an overall great player. He was an incredible hitter, and you cannot deny that. He hit over 300 for his career with an .817 OPS, collecting over 3,000 hits. He's a Hall of Famer for a reason, but as far as his defensive game goes, he was awful, and it's not wrong at all to say he was overrated in that regard because, like I said, it's a statistical fact that Jeter is the worst defensive player in baseball history. So why is this the case? Unlike Correa, Jeter had no range. He wasn't able to get to many balls hit farther than usual from him. He had a good fielding percentage, but what good is that if he could have prevented hits at the cost of a few more errors by getting to the ball instead of having it go by for a hit? Carlos Correa's career defensive runs saved is 67. Derek Jeter's is negative 162. It's night and day. Correa is a very pro analytics player and is outspoken on how much he supports them.
I believe in the analytics, and I think they help you win ball games, whether it's the shift, whether it's WRC plus. This analytic information tells you, how good a team is, how good a player is.
After Correa made his comments about Jeter not deserving any of his gold gloves, the captain himself was asked about it, to which he responded.
I didn't think much about it. I don't know how my name came up, so my Spanish is not that good. I still haven't seen it. I don't know how my name was brought up, but it doesn't even warrant a response. I mean, I can go in a lot of different directions, and I won't.
As far as who is in the right here, I don't think anyone is necessarily right or wrong. Correa is 1000% right on the fact that Jeter didn't deserve any of his 5 Gold Glove awards, but he probably should have not said it in the way he did. He's already looked at as such a villain by fans across the league, especially by Yankees fans, who despise him and the Houston Astros, the team he played for in the first 7 years of his career. At the end of the day, Correa doesn't really care that he's hated, and probably likes it more than anything. But Jeter has a point too. He didn't say it out loud, but he undoubtedly thought of Correa's involvement in the Astros sign-stealing scandal when he heard his comments. It's pretty hypocritical for Correa to talk about someone not deserving something when he doesn't deserve the 2017 World Series ring for how much he cheated during that season. A site called SignStealingScandal.com logged every recorded trash can bang during each Astros player's at-bat during the 2017 season. Of the 807 pitches recorded for Marwin Gonzalez, 18.2% had a trash can bang. Of the 972 recorded pitches for George Springer, 14.4% had a bang. 16% for Alex Bregman in 831 pitches, 18% for Carlos Beltran on 765 pitches, 16.6% for Yuli Gurriel on 723 pitches, and that's where we get to Carlos Correa. In 629 recorded pitches to Carlos Correa, 97 had a trash can bang come before them. That's 15.4%, and none of this even factors in the whistling that also went on that year to help the hitters during at-bats. Correa, just like several of his teammates, benefited greatly from the sign stealing. With that being said, Correa is a great hitter, whether he gets a tip on what the pitch is going to be or not. So why am I bringing this up? The 2017 Astros are arguably the most tainted World Series champion of all time. So again, for Correa to say that Derek Jeter didn't deserve some of his awards is incredibly hypocritical. It was a factual statement, but that doesn't take away the hypocrisy from it. Correa went in front of cameras and, although admitted to cheating, went on to say that the Astros earned their championship. So by those standards, Jeter earned his gold gloves. It kind of goes both ways. The bottom line is the fact that both guys neither deserve their awards, but that doesn't take away how talented both guys are. One was pretty much a celebrity and someone who everyone loved or at the very least respected, whether you were a Yankees fan or not. The other is someone who, although talented, was a part of arguably the biggest scandal in baseball history, lied about it, and took on the role of a villain with ease. Carlos Correa definitely made some more enemies with that statement, so I don't know if it was the smartest thing to say out loud, even though it was the truth. As for Jeter, it would be cool for him to acknowledge that Correa was right, but at the same time, he has the right to claim that those Gold Glove awards as legit, as long as Correa claims his ring as legit as well. Both sides are valid. Let me know if you're on Team Correa, Team Jeter, or Team neither, and thank you for watching.